Guys, it's Ryan with Fluid Health. Today showing you how to do a shoulder rotation assessment. Really, the shoulders are supposed to rotate in the socket without dragging the socket with it. So this is an issue. A lot of times people test mobility of the scapula, or rather the arm or the ball of the arm, the top humeral head in the socket. But when they do that, they oftentimes take the rotator cuffs that attach the arm to the actual shelf of the scapula, and it drags the scapula with it. Worse yet, sometimes the resting position of that joint structure is already mediated or distorted, displaced from its natural resting position, and that means that it's already dissociated from its centered position, so it's already dragged forward posturally. So that means you can't really move the joint structure in already a joint contracture that's stuck in that fixed position. So you're going to see limits in range of motion based on bone blocking, not necessarily tissue restriction. That plays into the centration of the canister, the mobility of the thorax, and the resting position of the shoulders, and how they're abnormally positioned because of that hyper or hypomobility of the trunk. That's for another day, but just know that that does impact the resting position, and then by extension the rotation of the arm in the socket. So what we want to know is that, assuming that you had a fixed neutral position on your trunk, you have adequate thoracic expansion so that the shoulder sits on top of the trunk efficiently. Then we're going to move the arm in the socket and make sure that the range of motion is efficient for both internal and external. So the way to do that is to lay on a table. You're going to make sure that your ribs stay depressed and your lower back's imprinted. So if you keep your lower back imprinted, that's a good sign. Bring your arm up to a horizontal 90 and make sure that your shoulder blade's snug and tucked back, not elevated or rolled forward. So you're going to tuck that down, hold the rib down, and then we're going to internally rotate the arm in the socket. Now from a horizontal neutral here, we should see 60 degrees of internal rotation without any accessory motion from the shoulder. So I don't want to see the arm drag the scapula down and forward with it. Now again, that would be considered an internal rotation. The external rotation, the same thing, rib is flat, lumbar is imprinted, shoulders retracted. You would externally rotate the humerus, and we would see 90 plus degrees of external rotation. So at the bottom, your wrist would be in line horizontally with the elbow. Now again, if I do that and my rib flares up and my shoulder drops back because I'm pulling my chest wall up with the rotation, my back goes in hyperextension, that's accessory motion from the trunk. The stretch of your IR shouldn't displace your canister. Remember, region or local never moves central. Central stable, region stable, move the limb. So once again, that would be an IR rotation and ER. Remember, IR is 70, ER is 90. No accessory motion from the shoulder joint or from the rib when you do it. Questions on any of that stuff, reach out, admin@fluidhealthandfitness.com, but get after it. Know your joints, know how they move, get them better.